Never forget, people, that you're limited with titles. You can't just have a long, long title like this long, so sometimes you can't fit exactly what you want to say in the title. So, of course, the title of Part 1 and Part 2, I couldn't fit when you're under arrest in it, but obviously it's implied, you know. It's when you're unarmed, a cop's not going to put his arms, you know, his hands around your throat for no reason. It's when you're, you know, being arrested or whatnot. And I watched World News Tonight last night, and weekend edition, you know, Saturday, it didn't really elaborate much or shed any light on it. It did say, I think the mayor got on and said he doesn't think the police officer did anything wrong. So I'm gathering that that's okay for cops. I watched him do it. It's okay for a cop to wrap both hands around your throat when you're unarmed and, you know, not being arrested for any type of, you know, serious violent behavior or whatnot. I don't know. I don't think it's right. The FBI are apparently involved, okay? I don't think it's right. Like I said, I judge these matters on a case-to-case basis. Oh, and about that grandmother and that where she was forcibly removed from her car for not signing a traffic ticket. You have to sign those tickets. Joe already told me this. Even if you totally disagree, like when I got that stupid jaywalking ticket in Culver City across right near the 99-cent store, and I knew I had done nothing wrong. The Culver City cops had nothing better to do. It was one of those cases where the light never changes. To them, they don't know that I had sat there for quite some time waiting for the light to change to the walk eye, and it never did. But I waited long enough that I'm right here, and I waited long enough till it got a cycle and turned red for these, so then I knew I could go. But it's showing orange. It never changed to walk eye. Showing orange, and to the cops who have nothing better to do, I ran across the street at the last minute, which could have been the case in other instances. This was, you know, around, it was, I think it was later at night. It wasn't real late, you know. The 99-cent store, I think, closed at 9. It was probably a little after that or whatever. But the fact is, I knew what I had done, couldn't prove it. I told you in the end, I went to fight the ticket, and the cops involved, they never showed up. So the thing was dropped. Because I was going to fight it on principle alone and say, you know what, it's not someone's fault, even if they have to cross the street when there's no walk eye. A lot of these lights around here are broken. They don't work. Alright? Even if you uphold this fucking ticket, I'm going to fight it on principle. Damn straight, I'll have my say about broken lights that aren't fixed and police issuing bogus tickets to meet their quota. The end of the month quota or whatever. You know what I mean? If they didn't see the whole thing, they're going to assume that I was running across the street at the last minute when it's orange. It's not my fault if it never turns to walk, okay? Damn straight I was going to go to court and fight it. Point being, though, you have to sign it. That grandmother cannot sit there and refuse to sign that, or she could be arrested. But I think they're up in arms of the way they handled her, all right? Well, I don't think it's right that that cop at that Waffle House put both his hands around the guy's neck and threw him against. I saw him do it. All right? I saw him do it on the film. And then the Waffle House management is going to say, well, the people who took videos doesn't show the whole story. All right? But I just don't think cops that should be proper. I don't think that should be acceptable behavior. All right? I understand if they have to, you know, if they have to beat someone down as a resisting arrest or use the club or use, but wrapping your hands around someone's throat, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to choke somebody? I don't think that's right, right? I don't think that's right. And like the guy said, he's like, I'm not denying that I got you know, out of hand in the Waffle House. I was upset with how me and my sister being treated, but I still don't think that how that cop choking me was acceptable. And I agree, right? And it didn't really shed too much light on it World News Tonight. I was hoping it would, but it didn't. It did show it again, what I'd already seen the day before. The cop put both hands around the guy's neck. I don't think you should do that. Okay? I could see why that would, especially you're not dealing with some violent criminal. You're dealing with someone unarmed who got a little too rowdy and out of hand and pissed off inside of a Waffle House, you know? God. Anyway, thought I'd point that out. But then we got the mayor or whoever it was, somebody got on and said that he sees nothing wrong with the cop did. Well, I didn't notice that much wrong with them getting that 65-year-old grandmother out of the car when she refused to sign the ticket, because she probably refused to budge as well. So, I don't know. Like I said, I judge them on a case-to-case basis, but what Joe told me, it pisses cops off, but you have the legal right, you have to sign it, okay? But what he's learned, you know, because he's learned in that world of, he's showed me videos and stuff, but to get around it, you can sign it, but you can write above it, I sign this under duress, if you disagree with it, you know. So, but you have to sign it. An expert, Inside Edition, talk to an expert, and like, what are your rights? Do you have to sign the ticket? You do. Technically, if somebody stops you, even if it's totally bogus stop, if a cop stops you, you're under arrest. Technically, and if you refuse to sign that ticket, they can take you away and take you in front of a magistrate and force you to, you know, acknowledge or whatever that you're going to show up in court. So it's good to know, you know. But obviously, even if you're a 65-year-old grandmother, if you're refusing to sign the ticket and refusing to budge from your car, the cops have the right to forcibly remove you from the car. That's why I say judge that on a case-to-case basis. I still don't think that cops, it should be an acceptable procedure, but the cop got on, that mayor got on and said, I see nothing wrong with what that cop did, putting both hands around the guy's neck. If that's acceptable behavior on the part of cops, particularly when they're dealing with an unarmed person, all right, I don't understand that. So. But on the other stuff that they're getting upset about, you are supposed to, you are legally, you have to sign a ticket even if you totally disagree with it. Even if it's the most ridiculous thing, like the cop's the speed thing that tested is wrong, and you know that you weren't speeding, but you're stopped for speed, you still have to sign the ticket. But my Joe, if you want to know, they cannot stop you. They might not like it, and they might give you a hard time, but you have the legal right to sign it, and then right above it, I'm signing this under duress. Joe told me that's little tricks you learn from, not necessarily Alex Jones, but people like that. There's videos that Joe showed me, you know, what your rights are. Like what your rights are if a cop tries to come to you and break up a party, and you know this weed smell. You know, it's how to do things without, you know, what your rights are. And apparently, you don't have to let any cop into your house without a search warrant. You're not required to. You can talk to them from outside the door. But people think if the cop demands to come in, you have to let him in. But I don't think that's true. Don't quote me on that, but Joe says, and I watched the whole video with him. He ordered the video. It wasn't from InfoWars either. I don't know where it was from. I don't think it was from InfoWars. But, you know, it's your rights. If a cop doesn't have a warrant, it's my understanding you do not have to let that cop into your house. No, he or she cannot forcibly enter your home without a warrant. But maybe I'm wrong. It's been many years that I watched that, but I remember watching it, and it was saying that the cop can't enter your home without a warrant. Is that true? I don't have to worry about shit like that. I'm just wondering. If I remember correctly, that's what it said. I was watching it. You have the right, if a cop comes by, you have a right to not invite him into your home. Like if it's a noise complaint or something, you can say, I guess, very nicely, I'll turn down, but you have a right to not have him come into your home. He can't just demand to come into your home. Unless if he has probable cause, like if he smells marijuana or something, but he can't just come into your home for no. I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I remember the video was very, very interesting, though. It's all these scenarios and whatnot. But Joe did tell me you do have to sign those tickets, but you can write above it, I'm signing this under duress. Apparently, anything you're asked to sign, they're trying to force you to sign. You have to sign shit, but you can always write above it, I don't want to sign this, I'm signing it under duress. You're still signing, you're still complying. You know? It's basically the way to get around bureaucratic bullshit. You know? But again, don't quote me on it because I could have my facts wrong. I could have my facts wrong. And the pastor did get back to me, and he went in my junk folder. And basically, he's like, I'll try. He was really nice. I'll try again, but please forgive me in advance. You know, you can hope people, it tugs at their heartstrings, and they want to drive your mom to, to church or whatever. But don't. Please forgive me if it doesn't. If nobody nobody offers. That's not your fault. I appreciate you for trying. I appreciate it greatly that you're trying. I just would like to know why that woman had to treat my mom that way. It's not decent, man. Or just to, you offer to drive her to church every week, and then she's not bothering you at any other time. She's not bothering you to chat. She's just calling you, can you take me to church? And then you don't even get back to her. It's like, that's just common decency. So I'm thinking the woman lied when I really think, I talked to my friend about that. I said, my mom says she doesn't know what to say in the car, and the friend was like, well, a lot of people are like that. My mom will say that about everybody, even about her. She'll say, I don't know what to say to her. My mom, it's feast or famine. When my mom's in a breakdown, she's talkative, she's whatever, and in the midst of one or starting, and then otherwise she won't say boo and she's shy. But that's no excuse to just be rude and start avoiding her calls and not even have the decency to. It's just it makes me sad. I told you I was crying on the bus. And if you're thinking, well, if she really wants to go to church, why not take a taxi? Because she does want to go to church. She doesn't want, she could pay gas money to someone like $5 a week. She doesn't want to have to pay like $20 a week. I don't blame her. She might want to go to church, but is it worth her to pay $20 a week to go to church? I don't think so. And I had asked, she didn't want to do it. Even back in the other place when she had called when she couldn't find a ride to church. And she doesn't want to pay that much for a taxi. Up to her. Again, it just makes me sad that you're going to offer, and then what, my mom's not a social butterfly, and you were looking for a friend or something, so now you don't want to drive her to church? You don't like the uncomfortable silence? That's rotten. I would have rather that woman never come forward and my mom not get to go back to the church twice, and me not thinking, oh, this is so wonderful, we have a solution to her being rejected by the other one that I've been going through for a lifetime or a million years. You know what I mean? I would have rather the woman never come forward. That's if nobody came forward, it's like, all right, well, nobody's interested. But when someone comes forward and then it's another rejection, you understand? That's the whole point. It's like my mom's been rejected again. And I know she's sad. I know she's sad. She won't communicate with me, but I know she's sad over it, and so am I. You get it? What was the point? Was there really any point of her getting to go to church twice and being invited out to lunch and thinking, oh, this is great, I'm being accepted and whatever, and then suddenly you don't even have the courtesy to return her calls when all she's doing is just saying, can you bring me to church this weekend? You know what I mean? That's just rotten. That is so rotten. It's so rotten. And again, these are people, this is a person considered viewing herself as a Christian. It's just rotten. I would have rather it had never happened. I would rather my mom had never got her hopes up and then just not had anybody respond the last time around. And have someone respond and then reject my mom and you don't even know why. Does that make sense? No, I don't blame my mom. I asked, she doesn't want to. She'd already told me that before. She doesn't want to have to pay for $20 a week to take a taxi to and from church. And she's also upset. She doesn't know why this woman rejected her. I don't either. I don't get it. I do not get it. It upsets me. But rather it had never happened in the first place. It wasn't worth it to get you to go to church twice. You know, get your hopes up. It's going to be a whole thing. Okay. That thing with the police, apparently that head-up person, the mayor or whoever got on, said he watched the video and he sees nothing wrong with how the policeman behaved, then I guess it's acceptable. I'm sure it's not commonplace practice, right? But it's acceptable for a cop to wrap his hands around your throat, both his hands around your throat. And I can see why over the past month I've watched 2 different African-American men, black men, on 2 different states, 2 different whatever, saying that they were scared to have a cop's hands around their throat. Alright? In both instances, the men were unarmed. I think this one was more minor than even the other one, where the guy didn't want the cop's hands around his throat. But I guess it's acceptable behavior on the part of a cop. Hopefully not commonplace, but apparently it's acceptable. Or the mayor or whatever wouldn't have gone on and said, I watched the video and I see nothing wrong with the way the cop behaved. But the FBI is involved, so somebody's, noticing something amiss. And the guy in question, the cop in question, is on administrative leave. But that's what else is new. They always do that, especially something controversial where they know people are mad about it. And again, at least it keeps cops nowadays, because, this wasn't the case even when I was growing up or whatever, with cell phones or whatever, anybody, the videos that surface and that sometimes catch, cops doing things they shouldn't be doing, and their superiors watch it, but prior to cell phones, that wasn't the case. And cell phone footage is often even way better than the so-called body cameras that most cops don't have anyway, right? So we live in an age now where they're held accountable. That's why I told you I was sickened. And it's easy for the airline to have said after the fact, it's not our procedure for our employees to do that. Yeah. But the damage is done. Where something major was happening, flights were delayed, I think it was when there was a bad storm or wherever it was, right? And people weren't getting answers, and they were mad, and they were being not told anything. This was in the lobby, in the waiting thing, to wait for flights, in the airport lobby and whatever. So I was in shock at this when I saw it on my news or Inside Edition or World News Tonight or all 3. The assholes, they can't do it. It happened again during that time on that cruise trip where all that family was causing chaos and whatever. These employees are too big for their britches. They cannot take our cell phones from us because we're filming them and they don't like it. And again, the airline thing, they say in the boat too, that they said that's not our procedure. The passengers have a right to film. And they actually took their cell phones away from them. The airline thing, I was just in shock. That's why it was on the news. That's why it was on World News Tonight. No, they took their cell phones away, stopped them from doing footage, and made them delete whatever footage they had. You can't do that. You're not fucking God. We're in a public place, and if someone wants to film it, they have a right to. But that's what employees were doing. Forcibly demanding, give me your phone. And taking their private property, my phone, for example, if I were there, taking my phone and deleting any footage I had taken of the incident. No. We don't live in that age now. We live in an age where you do have a right to film. And that's good, because it holds people accountable who otherwise might not be held accountable at all. See? So there are lots of good things about the age of technology and lots of not so good things. For example, all the data breaches we're hearing about. Latest I just heard about, Chili's says if you went to Chili's during this time and this time, there was a data breach. But data breaches are going to become more and more common, and in the world of conspiracy theorists, which you already told me beforehand, before we started hearing about nest left and right. And I'm not even addressing the Facebook and all that privacy thing and whatnot, but data breaches are becoming more and more common. Every time you turn around, you're hearing of a new data breach and these major things that, you know, places we all use our credit cards, because Joe says in the end they want to, who knows who's really behind the data breaches in the world of conspiracy theorists, and they want us to be like you see in the movies, have the chip in our arm, you don't have to worry about credit cards and all that, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Supposedly. No, I don't like that. I was pissed off as all and yelling at the TV when over this winter that happened at major chaos in the airport, and people had a right to film it, and the employees in that airport demanded their private phones, the people, the customers, the private phones, give us your phone, and deleted the footage. You have no right. And if, like I said, after the fact, this happened on the cruise ship several months ago too, when they had that whole brawl or whatever, that family was thrown up, but people were filming it. And after the fact, the high-ups in the airline, or that's not definitely not our policy to take your cell phone away from you or demand that you stop filming or delete your footage on your personal private phone. Yeah. Easy to say, but meanwhile it's already happened because your fucking employees are too big for their britches. You know, you're a fucking employee. You have no right to take my personal phone and delete what I've just filmed on it because I'm unhappy with how everything is being handled here in this situation. Unreal. Unreal, people. Unreal. Unreal. Like I said in the other video, I think, it's the one I did dark, but I might play, and, I need to drink some water. Isn't that unreal? I called my mom, said Happy Mother's Day, said take your vitamins, drink water. Bottom line is, I have stressed the importance to the yin of drinking, you know, a reasonable amount of water. Denise May, I mean, I like some of her articles, but I agree with the people who are saying it's irresponsible of her to make a blanket statement that, you know, everyone should drink a gallon of water and not make any, every day and not make any disclaimers and give all the health benefits. This is what would happen to your body when you drink a gallon of water a day and blah, blah. But there are people that went out there and said, you know, my mom nearly died, or she had a stroke or whatever. She's okay now because she was following the advice of drinking too much water. You shouldn't make blanket statements like that. If you're going to have an article like that, it should be in the fine print, you know. It should be somewhere. And if, you know, but talk to your doctor, or but no, they're acting like it's beneficial for everyone in the world to drink a gallon of water a day. And the health benefits are unreal. And again, every situation, you know, it's not, what's right for one person is not right for another. Yes, people can benefit from drinking more water. As I wrote in the comments and I shared with you on video, I'd be happy if my mom simply drank the minimum, which is 8 glasses a day. Okay? I'd be tickled pink, right? But as for me, yeah, I'm sure that I would definitely benefit if I upped my water intake to a gallon a day, like so many people do, and they say that the health benefits are just like through the roof. They're so good, you know. But I'm in a different situation. I down 32 ounces of water a day upon awakening ever since I read Cameron Diaz's awesome body book that she came out with that, you know, wasn't your typical, I'm a star and I'm going to write a little, it was actually quite informative and quite good. And ever since then I've been trying most days to drink 32 ounces of water upon awakening. This is a 16-ounce cup. still have the tags on these because I decided I'm going to keep them. But Walmart, they're cheap. You know what I mean? Just to have variety in my videos. Like I said, will I necessarily go out in public in these little shorts? Maybe out in my yard. But probably not. They're just for videos. You know. The blue ones are thicker. The blue ones are for exercise, and I might actually, you know, when I start to power walk or whatever, I probably would wear those blue ones because they have the shorts underneath and little flaps over it, and they're, you know, nothing wrong with that. But these, I don't know. They're in the junior department too. I don't care about that. I don't care. No. Told you. Unless I'm breaking major laws, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I please. Okay? Including having my hair as long as I want it to be, despite my age, and if I can still fit into clothes in the juniors department, I'll buy them. Okay? Oh. Where's the baby? Baby? The baby going to the cupboard by himself? Yes, he did. Yes, the baby went into the cupboard by himself. I crashed on the couch last night without brushing my teeth or washing my face. I watched, I fell asleep watching A Dog's Life. Very interesting. They're testing to see what dogs know and can they count and do they have spatial memory, and they definitely have memory. They do of their house. We know we got proof of that with the blind dog, you know, because Omar, otherwise he'd be bumping into stuff all the time. Now sometimes he's off. I told you he did not jump into my giant box in that room from the bed. I saw him out of the corner of my eye. I was on YouTube. I saw him on the line or whatever. I saw him out of the corner of my eye, but he didn't jump far from the bed. The box is against the wall where the window is, and the bed on the bathroom mat. No, he jumped as if he were jumping on the bed and jumped into that box, which is actually higher than the bed. So something was off in his brain. All right, because I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, why did you just jump into the box, Omar? He had to have thought it was the bed. So. Point being, I get my act together, I keep saying I'm going to do and then don't do it. I need to clean my mom's former bedroom, okay? I can at least listen to music choice while I'm cleaning the bedroom so it'll make it a little more enjoyable. I have to keep Omar safe. I don't want to keep him in the cage, but he can't come near me, so that's going to be difficult. I'll have to barricade the hallway somehow. Hopefully Omar will calm down and then just go on the couch and sit and realize that he can't be with me in that dangerous room. Literally dangerous. I've risked my life in there from time to time. I wanted to reach something and I literally had to climb on top of something else, and I'm like, this is how people get hurt in their home and nobody knows and your phone's not with you, and you know. And how it got so bad is because it wasn't like that. There were times over these past, since my mom moved out, that I really needed to find something quickly, and my solution was to just dump boxes out and try to find what I was looking for. And unfortunately, I never cleaned it up, and then if I do it again, it got worse and worse, and now it looks like a hurricane hit it. But I should not, for Omar's sake, obviously, he jumped in that fucking box. It's open. The other boxes, they're all against the wall, they're all sealed up, it's just that one big box. He jumped in it. Like, what the fuck? Thankfully, nothing in there was going to hurt him. The fact is, I shouldn't have anything. Because he's blind, I have to cater to him, and I shouldn't have anything in my bedroom, nothing, except the bed and the bureau and the computer and the chair. I shouldn't have any boxes, because I never would have imagined in a million years that Omar would have jumped into that box, okay? The other boxes are sealed up, and they're smaller, so but they're far away from the bed, so if he jumps down, he jumped into the box. I don't know what happened. He forgot where he was in the bedroom. He thought he was jumping up in the bed. Meanwhile, the box is higher up, but he got into it, and he didn't get hurt, but you know, like, what the fuck are you jumping in the box for? He didn't know why he was in the box either. I looked at him. He was startled. I'm like, why am I not in the bed? Why am I in this box? I didn't do it, Lomar. I didn't do it. I wanted to take a picture and I couldn't. Actually, I could, but I could have taken a picture, but I can't put it anywhere for anybody but me. I should have taken a picture. I couldn't put it on YouTube or anything, even a video, because it had personal stuff, papers where you jumped into the box, you know what I mean? Redbox trying to lure me back. How they entice you is they make videos cost them not that much, $1.25 off the first night, so you pay 50 cents. Yeah, that's great if you return it the next day. Last 2 times I've paid $5 because I don't return it the next day. See? That's how they get you. But they don't do that every week. They're trying to lure me back, and then they'll stop giving me the things off every week, you know. Because it's definitely worth it, but I have to plan it, you know, if I'm going to do it, is it worth it to me to walk to the store, what kind of weather is it, you know, things like that. I don't know if I'm going to, but if I were going to get a movie from Redbox, I've been wanting to see The Other Side of the Mountain with Kate Winslet and that other guy, and that looks very interesting. I think was it based on a true story? I don't know, maybe not, but it looks like a good movie anyway. They have to rely on each other. They're stranded plane crashes. It looks really good. Yeah, these are cute and they're really cheap. I think I'll keep them. I said, even just to create videos, be in it in my own house, even if I don't go in public in them. Not that they're obscene, they're not. I'm talking about these ones and then the other ones you saw me in the video the other plain cranberry ones. And then those other tighter ones, I would never go public in them. They were even less. These are $7.88. They were $5.88, so they're cheap. Because I'm getting all these shorts for the price, say at Macy's, that you'd pay for like one pair of shorts, you know. So, and it's been, as I told you, I think I need to bite the bullet, give in, and buy myself another pair of jeans to accommodate my fuller figure. I can't just not buy any clothes at all, you know, just because I'm upset that I've gained weight, you know. The fact is, even in summertime or whatnot, there's going to be occasions, frequently, where you don't want to just be wearing shorts. So I don't feel like wearing the same fucking jeans. Last time I was at Macy's, I tried on these awesome INC jeans but I'm not going to pay $100 for jeans either. They weren't on sale. See, I get my jeans always on sale. Of course, I didn't like trying on the jeans and being a lot heavier in the mirror, but the jeans were really nice. They had like all design down the bottom, going down both sides of the leg. They were different. But they were not on sale. Again, I don't pay full price. I don't pay